I should have noticed the way Emma looked at him. It wasn't the casual glance of a best friend sizing up her girl's new boyfriend. It was something else, something hungry, calculating, and cold. But I was too happy to see it. Too in love. Too trusting. They say the worst betrayals come from the people closest to you. The ones who know exactly where to cut to make it hurt the most. The ones who've memorized all your weaknesses, your insecurities, your deepest fears. Emma had been my best friend for 12 years. She knew everything about me. Every secret I'd ever kept. Every dream I'd ever had. Every wound that never quite healed. And when I accidentally hurt her, when I made one terrible mistake that I thought we'd moved past, she decided to teach me a lesson I'd never forget. She decided to take the one thing that mattered most to me. My name is Sarah Mitchell. This is the story of how my best friend systematically destroyed my life, one smile at a time, and how I almost let her. Maya stared at her phone, reading the text message for the third time. We need to talk. It's about Sophie. Her boyfriend Jake never texted like this. Never so serious. Never so cryptic. Her stomach twisted as she sat on her apartment couch, the autumn rain drumming against the windows. Sophie. Her best friend since freshman year of college. The girl who knew all her secrets. Who had cried on her shoulder through 2 breakups. Who she'd considered a sister. When Jake arrived 20 minutes later, his hair was damp from the rain, his expression grave. He sat down across from her, not beside her, and that distance alone made Maya's heart race. What's going on? She asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Sophie's been, I don't know how to say this. Jake ran his hand through his wet hair. She's been texting me a lot. And not just friendly stuff, Maya. She's been flirting with me. Maya felt the air leave her lungs. What? It started about 2 weeks ago. At first, I thought I was reading into it. You know, maybe she was just being nice. But then the messages got more direct. Compliments about how I look. Asking if I was happy with you. Saying things like, Maya's so lucky with these. He pulled out his phone. These emojis that are clearly suggestive. He showed her the messages. Maya's hands trembled as she scrolled through them. Sophie's words swam before her eyes. You deserve someone who appreciates you more. I've always thought you were so attractive. Does Maya know how good she has it? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Maya's voice cracked. I kept thinking it would stop. I replied short. Kept it platonic. Ignored the weird stuff. But yesterday, Jake hesitated. Yesterday she asked if I wanted to get coffee. Just the 2 of us. Said you didn't need to know. Maya felt tears burning her eyes, but she blinked them back. I need to talk to her. Maya. Wait. But she was already grabbing her keys. Part 2. The confrontation. Sophie answered her door in yoga pants and an oversized sweater, her expression shifting from surprise to something unreadable when she saw Maya's face. We need to talk, Maya said, brushing past her into the apartment they'd hung out in countless times before. Now it felt foreign, hostile. Okay. Sophie closed the door slowly. What's wrong? Don't. Maya spun around. Don't pretend you don't know. Jake told me about the messages, about the coffee invitation. For a moment, Sophie's face went pale. Then something hardened in her eyes. Oh, so he ran straight to you. He's my boyfriend, Sophie. Of course he told me. What the hell are you doing? What am I doing? Sophie's voice rose, surprising Maya with its venom. What am I doing? That's rich, Maya. That's really rich. What are you talking about? David. Sophie shouted the name like an accusation. Remember David? My boyfriend of 2 years? The guy I was going to move in with? Maya felt eyes creep down her spine. David. Sophie's ex from last year. They'd broken up right before graduation, and Sophie had been devastated. What does David have to do with this? You really don't remember, do you? Sophie laughed bitterly. Last spring, that party at his friend's house. You got drunk and told him he could do better than me, that I was too needy and too dramatic. You said I was holding him back from his potential. Maya's mind raced back. She did remember that party. She'd been going through a rough patch, drinking too much. And yes, she'd had a conversation with David, but she'd been trying to help, trying to give him advice because Sophie had been calling him 10 times a day, showing up at his apartment unannounced, going through his phone. Sophie, I was worried about you. You were becoming obsessed. Obsessed? I was in love, and my best friend stabbed me in the back. Tears streamed down Sophie's face now. He broke up with me the next week. Said I was too much. Used your exact words, Maya. Your words. I didn't tell him to break up with you. I was concerned about your behavior. And yes, I talked to him about it, but you had no right. Sophie's voice broke. No right to interfere in my relationship. Do you know how that felt? To lose him and then find out my best friend had poisoned him against me. Maya felt the weight of guilt pressing down on her, but anger rose up too. So this is revenge? You're trying to seduce my boyfriend because you're mad about something that happened over a year ago? I wanted you to feel what I felt. Sophie shouted. I wanted you to know what it's like to have someone you trust betray you. To wonder if your relationship is falling apart because of someone else's words. Jake would never. Are you sure? Sophie's smile was cruel. Are you absolutely certain? Because I've seen the way he looks at me sometimes. I've seen him laugh at my jokes a little too long. Maybe I didn't have to try very hard at all. The words hit Maya like a slap. She thought of all the times the three of them had hung out together. Sophie making Jake laugh. Sophie touching his arm when she talked. Had there been something there all along? This is insane, Maya whispered. What you're doing is insane. Maybe. Sophie crossed her arms. Or maybe this is just karma, Maya. Maybe this is what you deserve. Maya left without another word. Her heart shattered in a completely different way than she'd expected. Part 3. The doubt. The next 2 weeks were torture. Maya told Jake everything Sophie had said, and he held her while she cried, reassuring her that nothing would ever happen between him and Sophie. But the seeds of doubt had been planted. She found herself watching them during a group hangout at their friend Marcus's place. Sophie had shown up, acting as if nothing had happened, and Jake had been coldly polite. But Maya noticed everything now. The way Sophie positioned herself in Jake's line of sight. The way she laughed just a little too loud at his comments. The way she'd worn a low-cut top and kept adjusting it. You okay? Jake squeezed her hand. Fine. Maya lied, but she wasn't fine. That night, alone in bed while Jake was at his night shift at the hospital he was a resident, Maya spiraled. She thought about what Sophie had said, about David, about her own role in that breakup. She pulled out her laptop and found David's social media. They'd been friendly once, before everything happened. Before she'd given him advice she'd thought was helpful. She sent him a message, her fingers shaking. Hey, I know this is random, but I need to ask you something about Sophie, about why you guys broke up. He responded an hour later. That's ancient history, Maya. Why bring it up? Please, it's important. A long pause. Then, look, you didn't break us up, if that's what Sophie told you. Yeah, we talked at that party. Yeah. You pointed out some stuff I'd been worried about, but I'd already been thinking about ending things. She was checking my phone, showing up at work unannounced, getting jealous of female co-workers. It was suffocating, so I didn't. You gave me permission to trust my gut. That's all. The relationship was already dying. Maya, Sophie just needed someone to blame besides herself. Maya stared at the message, feeling something shift inside her. Sophie had been carrying this grudge for over a year, had twisted reality to justify it, and now was actively trying to destroy Maya's relationship. But there was still one question that haunted her. Did Jake have feelings for Sophie, even buried ones? Part 4. The test. Maya hated herself for what she was about to do, but she needed to know. She needed to be sure. She told Jake she had to work late on a Friday night, covering for a coworker. Instead, she asked Marcus to invite both Jake and Sophie to a casual hangout at a bar downtown. Marcus thought it was weird, but agreed when Maya explained she was trying to figure something out. Maya arrived early and positioned herself in a corner booth with a clear view of the bar but partially hidden by a wooden divider. She felt like a character in a bad movie, but her heart was hammering too hard to care. Sophie arrived first, looking stunning in a red dress Maya had never seen before. 20 minutes later, Jake walked in wearing the blue shirt Maya had bought him for his birthday. When he spotted Sophie, Maya watched his body language carefully. He gave a polite wave and took a seat at the bar, leaving space between them. Through the evening, Maya watched. Sophie leaned in close when she talked to Jake. She laughed, touched his arm, accidentally brushed against him when she got up for another drink. And Jake, he maintained distance. He checked his phone frequently, texting Maya. She realized, as her phone buzzed with messages asking where she was and if she was okay. When Sophie put her hand on his knee at one point, Jake physically moved his leg away and said something that made Sophie's smile falter. Marcus joined them, and the dynamic shifted. Jake seemed to relax more, keeping Marcus between himself and Sophie. When Sophie suggested they all go to another bar, Jake declined, saying he was tired and wanted to get home to Maya. "She's working late," Sophie said, and there was something smug in her voice. "You could stay out a little longer." "I'd rather go home and wait for her," Jake said firmly. "I miss her." Maya felt tears spring to her eyes. She watched Jake leave, watched Sophie's face fall, watched her friend drain her drink with a bitter expression. Maya paid her tab and left through the back exit. She beat Jake home by 10 minutes. When he walked in, she was waiting on the couch. "How was work?" he asked, kissing her forehead. "Jake." She took his hand. "I need to tell you something, and I need you to not be mad." His face filled with concern. "What happened?" "I wasn't at work. I was at Murphy's. I saw you with Sophie." Jake pulled back. His expression hurt. "You were testing me?" "I needed to know." Tears streamed down her face now. "I needed to know if there was any part of you that wanted her, that was tempted. Sophie got in my head and I needed to know." "Maya." Jake knelt in front of her. "I would never. Not with Sophie. Not with anyone. Yes, I think she's objectively attractive. I'm not blind, but I don't want her. I want you. I love you. Only you." She tried so hard tonight. "I know." And I shut it down. Every single time. He cupped her face in his hands. "But Maya, you can't do this. You can't test me. If you don't trust me, we have a problem." "I do trust you," she sobbed. "I don't trust her, and I don't trust my own judgment anymore. I hurt her, Jake. Maybe not the way she thinks, but I did interfere in her relationship. Maybe I deserve this." No, his voice was firm. "What Sophie's doing is not okay. Even if you had deliberately sabotaged her relationship, which you didn't, this isn't the answer. She needs to deal with her hurt in a healthy way, not by trying to destroy what we have." Maya nodded, clinging to him. "What do we do now?" Part 5. The Reckoning. Maya decided to try one more time. She texted Sophie, "Coffee tomorrow? Just us, please." The response came an hour later. "Fine. Riverside Cafe, 10 a.m. When Maya arrived, Sophie was already there, her expression guarded. They ordered in silence, then sat across from each other in the back corner. "I talked to David," Maya began. Sophie's face went white. "What?" "He told me the truth. About why you broke up. About what was really happening in your relationship." Maya kept her voice gentle. "Sophie, I didn't break you guys up. Your relationship was already in trouble. You had no right to talk to him, and you had no right to flirt with Jake." Maya's voice was stronger now. "But here we are, both of us having crossed lines, both of us hurting." Sophie's eyes filled with tears. "You don't understand what it felt like. To lose him and then find out you'd talk to him about me. It felt like everyone was against me." "I should have talked to you directly," Maya admitted. "I should have told you my concerns instead of going to David. That was wrong. And I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry, Sophie. But..." Sophie's voice was bitter. "But what you're doing is cruel. You're trying to make me feel pain instead of dealing with your own. And it's destroying our friendship, destroying you. Can't you see that?" Sophie wiped her eyes. "I wanted you to hurt like I hurt. And do you feel better? Now that you've tried to seduce my boyfriend? Now that you've made me question everything? Does it feel good?" Silence stretched between them. Finally, Sophie shook her head. "No, it feels awful. I feel awful." She buried her face in her hands. "I don't know who I've become. This isn't me, Maya. This revenge thing. It's been eating me alive." "Then stop," Maya said softly. "Stop before you can't come back from it." "I don't know if I can." Sophie looked up, her mascara running. "I've been so angry for so long. And seeing you with Jake, Seeing you happy when I was miserable, it just made everything worse. I wanted to take something from you like you took David from me. I didn't take David from you, but I'm sorry I wasn't a better friend. I'm sorry I didn't see how much you were hurting. Sophie sobbed openly now. I miss you. I miss my best friend, but I don't know how we come back from this. Maya felt tears streaming down her own face. I don't know either. You really hurt me, Sophie. You tried to destroy the person I love. That's not something I can just forget. I know. Sophie's voice was small. I wouldn't forgive me either. They sat in silence, two friends on opposite sides of a canyon of their own making. Part 6. The healing. Months passed. Maya and Sophie didn't talk. Maya blocked her on social media, avoided mutual friends' events where Sophie might be. Jake was patient, understanding, never pressuring her to forgive or forget. But the absence of Sophie left a hole. Maya would see something funny and reach for her phone to text Sophie before remembering. She'd pass their favorite Thai restaurant and feel a pang. Friendship, even poisoned friendship, wasn't easy to let go of. One night, Maya's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Maya. Sophie's voice was shaky. Please don't hang up. I'm in therapy. I've been going for 2 months now, and I'm working through a lot of stuff. About David, about you, about me. Maya said nothing, waiting. My therapist helped me see that I was using you as a scapegoat, that I couldn't accept my own role in driving David away, so I blamed you. And then I did this horrible thing to try to feel powerful again, to feel like I had control. Sophie's breath hitched. I'm not calling to ask for forgiveness. I know I don't deserve that. I just wanted you to know that I'm getting help, and that I'm sorry. Truly, deeply sorry. Okay? Maya said quietly. Thank you for telling me. That's all. Sophie sounded surprised. What else do you want me to say, Sophie? That it's okay? It's not. You tried to wreck my relationship. You used your pain as an excuse to inflict pain. I know. You're right. A long pause. I just wanted you to know I'm trying to be better. Then keep trying, Maya said. For yourself, not for me. She hung up, and Jake wrapped his arms around her. That must have been hard, he murmured into her hair. It was. Maya leaned into him, but it was necessary. Epilogue. The choice. A year later, Maya received a wedding invitation in the mail. Their mutual friend Marcus was getting married. Sophie's name was on the RSVP list as a bridesmaid. Maya showed Jake the invitation. What do you think? Do you want to go? He asked. I don't know. I'd be happy for Marcus. But seeing her. It's been over a year, Jake said carefully. I'm not saying you have to forgive her, but maybe you can coexist in the same space? The wedding was beautiful. Marcus was radiant, his bride even more so. And yes, Sophie was there, in a pale blue bridesmaid dress, her hair shorter than Maya remembered. They made eye contact across the reception hall. Sophie gave a small, tentative smile. Maya nodded back, not quite returning the smile but acknowledging her presence. Later, as Maya and Jake danced, Sophie approached during a lull in the music. You look happy, Sophie said softly. Both of you. We are, Maya replied, not unkindly. I'm glad. Sophie glanced at Jake. I owe you an apology too, for putting you in that position, for being inappropriate. I'm sorry. Jake nodded. Thank you for saying that. Sophie turned back to Maya. I don't expect us to be friends again. I just wanted you to know that I'm doing better. I'm dating someone new, someone good, and I'm not that person anymore. The one who tried to hurt you. I'm glad you're doing better, Maya said, and she meant it. Sophie smiled sadly and walked away. Maya watched her go, feeling something loosen in her chest. Not forgiveness, not yet. Maybe not ever fully, but something like closure. Jake pulled her back onto the dance floor. You okay? Yeah, Maya said, resting her head on his shoulder. I think I am. Some friendships don't survive betrayal. Some wounds are too deep to fully heal. But Maya had learned something important through all of it. Loyalty, communication, and trust were everything. And she and Jake had all three. As they swayed to the music, Maya realized that Sophie's revenge had failed. Not because Jake hadn't been tempted, but because their relationship was stronger than Sophie's pain. Love, real love, couldn't be destroyed by someone else's bitterness. It could only be destroyed from within. And Maya and Jake, they were solid. They were real. They were forever. Sophie had tried to take that from her, but some things Maya now knew. can be taken, only given away. And she wasn't giving Jacob for anything. The end.